Morning, Charlie. Ralph Russo from the Associated Press. How is Teddy handled, a lot more attention, publicity, and how is he equipped, do you think, to handle that as the season starts when it becomes a possible distraction?
Well, I think that Teddy is an amazing young man, but he is surrounded by some outstanding players himself. But he's a very humble young man. And if you look at him, just watching him grow over the years, he's loaded with a ton of athletic ability, but just getting to know him as a person. And Teddy understands that, at first, I think that when you look back, he really didn't want this team, and he didn't want to be the leader of this team. But just the way he has grown and developed, he has no choice now. And he's ready to welcome that challenge. But it's been fun to just watch his development. And I think that he can handle it. I think that he knows what's ahead of him and what he has to get accomplished.
Other questions for Coach, please?
Hi, C.L. Brown with the Courier-Journal. Charlie, you've always been one to kind of take statistics and use them as motivation. How will you use the 2 votes that you guys didn't get, that it wasn't unanimous? I mean, we've been hearing a lot the whole offseason about, what this season was going to be for you guys, but it wasn't a unanimous decision.
No, I won't take those 2 votes because our team, what we try to do as a football team and what I try to do each and every week is not so much that we focus on the opponent, but we focus on ourselves. And what's key for us is that we have to get better and see if we can go be the best each and every day as a player. And if our players can go develop each and every day, then they know that their ability and what they had to try to go get accomplished. So it's not so much that we have to worry about the opponent, but let's worry about ourselves, and let's take it game by game, which we will. But let's make sure that as a player that we're getting better and we're giving every effort and everything that we have to give to make this program a good program.
Hi, Coach. Steve Andrus, WDRB in Louisville. Right. I know you told Pete that you're still in the decision process on Michael Dyer. I know you're limited on what you can say about that. But what would you say to those who would say bringing in a player like that potentially would go against some of the core values that you put up in your office?
Well, he's not a part of our program, and when you talk about it, he hasn't been a part of our program. Our core values are within our program, and it is the men that in our program, and they understand our core values and what it is, what they're all about. But it's for the players that are within our program.
Hey, Charlie, Len Robbins, New York Post. Two-part question for you. When it comes to Teddy, what have you learned about him as a person away from football that maybe you didn't know during the recruiting process that has sort of wowed you?
Well, the thing that Teddy has is strong faith, and I didn't know it during the recruiting process, but his mom is, with her illness, and then with him watching that happen to her, it just made him stronger. And what she's done, not only with Teddy, with their other children, she's made them, they're really strong kids, and they can handle any adversity within their life, and that's why he's been able to overcome the adversities that he's had in his life because of his upbringing.
I know you just mentioned unrealistic expectations, but you also said that you want to be the best football program in the country. What would him winning a Heisman mean for your program?
What would be with him winning the Heisman be for our program?
What would it mean for your program?
Well, it would speak volumes of our program and just where we've come from and just his individual effort and what he's put into it. But, what we like to do is so much social media, we don't have to push him for that Heisman because how he plays is going to determine what he does and how this team plays with the Heisman Trophy and where it's going to end up for him.
Charlie, Eric Crawford from WDRB. I know you've coached teams that were coming back from national championships. Is this challenge of coaching this team any different as you see it from others that you've seen? Is there any you can compare it to?
Well, I think about it, Gary, and I think about that team in 2009 and when Tebow made an announcement that he was coming back. And on defense that year, we had 21 or 22 returners coming back at Florida. And then offensively, you had Tebow, you had Percy Harvin, you had the Pounceys, you had Riley Cooper. You had some really outstanding players coming back. And what happened with that football team, which I don't want to see happen with our team, is that winning became a sigh of relief. And it was like you win a game, you'll be like, oh, we won the game, and then you get on to the next one. And luckily, we did not lose a game until that last game against Alabama in a championship game, and it was devastating. And that's what I don't want to see happen to our team, is that a loss become devastating to our program, because it's going to be we're going to have to overcome some adversity. It's going to be some games where we're not going to play well. It's going to be some games where we're going to be favored, and we may walk out there with a 3-point victory, but who cares? We won a game where people are going to say you didn't beat them by 30. But it's all about us and just making sure that we maintain our focus and making sure that, guys, at the end of the day, just win the football game. And I'm not going to allow that to happen when it becomes a sigh of relief. Hey, we're happy. Now let's go get on with the next opponent, but let's enjoy this win.